I'm Erline Belton, and I'm delighted to be here this evening. My book is called A Journey That Matters, Your Personal Living Legacy. And the book is a journey that you take, preferably with another person, because it's a book that challenges you to think about who you are and how you are in the world. My notion is that legacy is not about what people say after you have died. It's much, much more than that. It's about what you do in your waking moments. And the idea is to become conscious and deliberate and intentional about what you're doing in your living moments so that you craft the legacy that you want to leave and that it's not defined by someone else. The book takes you on a journey by telling fabulous, compelling, inspirational stories. Susan Taylor, who was the former editor of Essence, her story is in the book. Um, Otis Moss Jr., who took over the church for Jeremiah Wright in Chicago, is in the book, along with his father and the journey that they took around the whole notion of legacy and what they want to create and leave as inspiration to other people. The CEO of Applebee's, who is no longer the CEO, has since retired, but his story is in the book. And there's a wonderful, compelling story about an African woman who suffered female mutilization and how that changed her life journey. So the book is a way for you to examine your values, examine your beliefs, and examine what you stand for. And then to look at it in a truthful way and redefine it for yourselves in the way that you want it to be. Because sometimes when we take that look, we discover it's not exactly what we want. Because we haven't challenged ourselves about the deep questions of what are my values? What are my beliefs? What do I stand for? What is the contribution, my unique contribution that I want to make to the world? What's the imprint I want to leave? And so the book takes you on a discovery journey of those kinds of questions. And I like to suggest to people that they do it with another person so that they can test their perceptions about themselves with someone who cares about them. And there are some steps that you take in the book where you actually have to go out and talk to other people about how they perceive you and what they think you may be doing so that you get to balance that, their perspective, with your perspective of yourself. It's fun, it's challenging, it's inspiring, and sometimes it's a little bit difficult because it challenges you to look in ways perhaps you wouldn't have looked before.
And what inspired you to write the book?
Well, over the years, I've worked with leaders, both in corporations and nonprofits, in government. And one of the things I've always been just blown away by is sometimes the decisions that they would make. And the decisions would be made without regard to what the impact was going to be. For example, if you think about presidents in the past and things that have happened to them, if they had thought about how might this impact my legacy, they might have done something different. So it's the question of leaders. Now, I define leaders in a very broad way because I think everybody's a leader of their life. So if we begin to think about and question ourselves with respect to that notion of intention and impact, it probably will take us to a very different place. So that's how I got inspired to do it. And then as I listened to people's stories, there's so much in a story that tells you about who you are, the story of your life, the story of other people's lives. And sometimes you read those stories and it causes you to reflect on your own story and it gives you the opportunity to rewrite the script. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to give people an opportunity to take a look, laugh at themselves, maybe cry about themselves, but to be able to feel empowered to write a new script for the life that they wanted to leave and the imprint that they choose to leave in the world. So that's why I did it.